Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tevaron, and welcome to another episode of Friday Night Magic. This week, we are playing a Boros aggro list with a little bit of ally synergy here that was posted on the No Goblins Allowed forum by Soul77. I will provide a link in the description below if you would like an easier to access list of the deck. We will be going through the list here rather quickly. We are running one Tevaron, Hero of Akros, which can potentially flip into Gideon Battleforge, though that's not something you really want to be doing with this deck. 3 Elite Vanguard, 3 Goblin Glory Chasers to round us out at 7 1-drops, 4 Titan Strength for that much more damage, as well as the card selection afforded by the Scry, 2 Core Blade Whirls, which has Rally. That says whenever Core Blade Whirl or another ally enters the battlefield under your control, creatures you control gain first strike until end of turn. That's all creatures, not just allies. We are running 4 Token Free Blades, which is the 2-drop du jour in most aggro-ish white decks, as well as 3 Mage Ring Bullies, 2 Subterranean Scouts to provide that little bit of evasion and help your renowned things become renowned, 3 Call of the Full Moon, 4 Infectious Bloodlust, 1 Chandra, Fire of Kaladesh, who also can flip, and flipping Chandra is actually something that you would like to accomplish in this deck, 3 Fire Mantle Mages, whose rally gives your creatures evasion. Whenever it or another ally enters the battlefield under your control, creatures you control gain menace until end of turn. This can be very helpful in getting those last few points of damage through. 3 Erois' Champion, which is a 2/2 double striker. 2 Exquisite Firecraft for board control, as well as that last little bit of reach in case your creatures can't quite get there. 1 Akum Firebird as a hasty, evasive, and potentially recursive threat. That rounds out the business end of the deck. The mana base is 9 plains, 9 mountains, 2 clifftop retreats, and 1 looming spires. The deck's mana base is ever so slightly skewed towards red, as we are a bit heavier in red than we are in white. However, we can't skew too heavily that direction because most of our 1-drops and our early drops do require white mana, which we would like to have. Well, that's the deck list. Let's get in there and see if we can't smash some face. Okay. This hand is a bit land heavy, but I'm reluctant to throw it back. So I think I'm going to keep it and hope that the fact that we're only running 21 lands will cause us to be drawing more things that aren't land at this juncture. I still think it's okay going Free Blade into Erois' Champion. Not quite as aggressive as you normally want to be with this deck, but it may be enough to actually get there. Alright, that was a good draw as well. So we're going to lead off with the Free Blade, try to get it renowned. This deck does suffer from the same issue that most aggro decks suffer from, being that if you don't kill your opponent fast enough, you may be getting into the position where you'll just not be able to get it done. So you need to try to deal as much damage as quickly as you can. Alright, Glory Chaser is good. Let's see if our opponent wants to trade Free Blades here. They appear to be quite happy to let us become renowned. And we are quite happy to play out our Erois' Champion. This may allude to our opponent having some sort of buff for their Free Blade. I'm imagining a wild size. Wild size we give +2/+2. Let's block. If they wild size, we will lose one of our creatures. They will lose their creature. However, I'm happier to do that than to have them get that renowned and still have up mana to wild size when we attack them. Alright, they're tapped out, so there's no real reason to wait until after combat to do this. It will not affect their decision, as there are no decisions to be made at present. Attack with all. Thank you. And hopefully we will continue to draw not lands. Consul's Lieutenant, okay. And a Scythe Leopard. So we're looking at a Renown/Landfall build here, it seems. Another Mage Ring Bully. So the Mage Ring Bully we have out is most definitely going to die here. I imagine our Glory Chaser will trade off with that Scythe Leopard as well. Or not. Okay. Guess that is an option there. So we will go ahead and play a land and our Mage Ring Bully. Hopefully we will draw something to pump them up next turn. Any of our enhancement auras, Infectious Bloodlust or Call of the Full Moon would be perfectly fine by me. Alright. What could be... Block? Okay, I believe that might have been a mistake on our opponent's part since they went ahead and conceded the game when it happened. Alright, so Subterranean Scout pre-combat. Give one of our Mage Ring Bullies unblockability. As they have to attack anyway, might as well have one that is not going to die horribly. Alright. Well, let's trade one creature for two. Or 2 for 2 as the case may be, if you count in their Consul's Lieutenant murdering our Mage Ring Bully. Even with the mistake, I think it was probably premature for our opponent to concede there. They're still very much in this game. And it may be that the AI goes on to defeat us despite. Though Firebird does help. So let's play that. We won't play our land, not only for the bluff, but for the off chance that our bird dies, we can trigger its landfall and bring it back. And since our Mage Ring Bully must attack, we should just attack with everything. Alrighty. And pass on over. Again, any creature enhancement would be very good. Also, Exquisite Firecraft would be very good here. Looks like our opponent is going to draw 2 cards from these 2 creatures becoming renowned with this Valerian Wardens is in play. Alright, finally drew their fourth land there. And we drew one as well. I guess it's not as bad as just a basic, but I would still very much rather be drawing something that's a little more gas at this point. Put our opponent to 1 here. They will in turn swing back and deal 9 damage to us. Still, they need to deal with our flyer to not die on the crackback. And they will be drawing multiple cards from the wild size, and then from... Or is it only when another creature? No. This guy will become renowned and should draw them another card here. And it looks like we are going to get there. But even with the misplay, it was a lot closer than I think our opponent envisioned when they just conceded there. But on to the next one. Okay, I am very happy with this hand. We have a lot going on here in the first few turns, which is super important for a deck like this. Alright, looks like we're playing perhaps a Dimir build of some sort. We will lead off with our Elite Vanguard. Second turn, we will most likely be playing Topen Freeblade here. Ooh. So, Sultai? Sultai aggro? A landfall of some sort? Alright, let's see if our opponent fancies trading that Gnarlid for our Elite Vanguard. I imagine that is not going to be their idea of a good time. But getting 2 damage in is quite a good idea in my mind. Very interested to see how the rest of this deck plays out. This is something that is fairly unique to me at this juncture. I will be taking 3 here. I imagine that this is perhaps a tempo build of some sort, with Bounding Krasis in it, perhaps. Right, I'm going to play my land, and I'm going to go ahead and give my Topen Freeblade unblockability. That will leave me free to also play Titan's Strength if a Bounding Krasis is inbound here. Which I imagine it is, and it is. Okay, tap down our Scout. Block there. Right, we will trade off with the Bounding Krasis and get a Scry. I kind of like Infectious Bloodlust. Let's keep that on top, please. Now our Freeblade is renowned, and we are in an okay position here, though it looks like we're going to get smacked for 4, because as before, I am certainly not blocking that Snapping Gnarlid. No, I will not block, thank you very much. And we could again be seeing another Krasis coming our way. I think we will go ahead and Bloodlust on the Subterranean Scout. Oh, we're getting Spell Shriveled instead. Okay. Alright, let's attack then. Attack with all. We're going to Titan Strength again. Not only for the extra damage, but for the scry. Fire Mantle Mage is quite an okay draw as well, so let's keep that on top. Take our opponent to 8 here. And hopefully that Fire Mantle Mage will put us yet closer to killing them. Woodland Wanderer is an issue. They can't attack with their Snapping Gnarlid here, though. So, the question is, do we play Fire Mantle Mage and swing in? They will almost certainly block the Free Blade with both of these. We'll get 2 in, we'll kill their Gnarlid. We'll take them to 6. With this, that would take them to 2. I think it may actually be better here to just play the Mage Ring Bully and pass the turn. Let's see, if they play an Evolving Wilds, they can do 9 to us at most. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to play the Mage Ring Bully and pass the turn, hopefully with a better ability to swing on the next turn. Okay, adverse conditions is not something I was looking forward to seeing. And here, I kind of think I've got to trade off with that Snapping Gnarlid. Let's see, let's do 4. We can do 7 next turn. We're taking 7 ourselves here. But our opponent is able to block in any event. So yeah, let's trade off. Confirm. And our creatures will not untap because of the adverse conditions there. Our opponent is currently showing 6 damage on the board. I think our best play here is to just Firecraft to our opponent's face and hope we live through this next turn. If our opponent swings with the Scion and doesn't play another creature, which it's a moot point, they are playing a Sky Spawner. So now we need another Exquisite Firecraft, pretty much. Either that or a Titan's Strength, plus this Fire Mantle Mage would get the job done as well. That is not what that is. We can play out our Fire Mantle Mage, but it's not going to matter. That's pretty much game. And doesn't even matter as far as that goes either. I mean, perhaps we can get them to block. Doesn't matter. It's over. Yeah, either which way, we don't have a blocker for the Woodland Wanderer either, and even if we did, it's trample, so it didn't quite get there. I did quite like that deck, though. May have to look into testing and seeing what can be come up with in that vein. I've seen a lot of the tempo-ish decks. That seemed to be a pretty good build of it. Anyways, on to the next game. Yeah, this is an unkeepable hand. as is that one. This is a little more keepable, though not nearly ideal. And if you had noticed and are wondering, my voice is indeed a bit scratchy today. I'm not sure if it's just allergies or if I'm actually coming down with something. Hopefully it's just allergies, and something that'll be going away on its own fairly quickly. Alright, I think we just drop Call of the Full Moon here and start getting in there. Hopefully our opponent does not simply untap and kill our Glory Chaser. I quite fancy swinging for 5 a turn, if possible. And it looks like our Glory Chaser will survive this turn. Alrighty, let's go ahead and attack. And we're kind of playing out as mono red this game, since we have yet to see a white mana source. We will drop Chandra here. And depending on what our opponent plays, could in fact possibly flip her next turn. And our opponent says that's enough. Drana, okay. So, Chandra is not getting flipped, it doesn't seem. However, we could just flat out win here. So, let's ping. And Titan Strength. Because with the Call of the Full Moon, our Glory Chaser is Trample. Not that it matters because it's also Menace. And we will ping. And we will be flipping our Chandra. And there. Kind of overkill, but put that on the bottom too. It's kind of neat when you can do something like this, especially when it's the AI and you're not annoying a human player. And go ahead and kill this creature. Not that that was necessary either. Just having a little bit of fun. Seeing as how these games have been relatively short, let's go ahead and try to get in another. Alright, this hand is a little bit slower than I would like, but I don't think it is mulliganable. So let's keep it. And we will lead off with the Looming Spires, because I do not want to not be able to play my Firebird come turn 4 because our land is coming into play tapped. Alright, Plains and Paths from our opponent here. We will be dropping a Topin Freeblade. I always play the Freeblade over Majoring Bully because I want to get it renowned as soon as possible. Get that +1/+1 on it. Alright, a Topin Freeblade from the opponent as well. We will test out the waters here and see if they are willing to trade Freeblade for Freeblade. With what I have in my hand, I am actually quite willing to do that. They are not. Which again in this instance leads me to believe that they have some sort of pump for it. Be it Nimbus Wings or Grasp of the Hieromancer or something along that line. I very much hope it is not Nimbus Wings. That would very much render our Akum Firebird not quite so good anymore. And it doesn't seem to be the case. I'm very surprised that they let me get my Freeblade renowned if they didn't have something else. Well, let's go ahead and play Firebird and swing out. They could have... I don't know. I would say Celestial Flare, but they don't have a second white up, and Reprisal's not going to get any of our creatures because they are not 4 power. Alright. Well, that was a lot of damage right there. Knight of the White Orchid, okay. Don't know if that is going to be enough to hold us off at this juncture. It is first strike, so, well, never mind. I was going to say it is first strike, so it can trade off with the Erois' champion here. Seeing as how that is the case, I will not be swinging with the champion. We will kill the knight, please. Play a land and our majoring bully. All right. I don't think I block here. It will get renowned, but we potentially have lethal at the moment. Well, not anymore. Not without some help, at least. Throwing knife, okay. That helps. And that should be game. Everything has menace. Go ahead and swing. They can only block one of our ground pounders, which means 2 from the other one will get through for sure. Yeah, trade off. That's fine. And that's all she wrote. Let's do one more. One more. Okay. I'm very happy with this. Let's keep. Got a nice curve here, as well as some utility. The question is, do I want to trade Elite Vanguard for Goblin Glory Chaser? Part of me says yes. Part of me says just deal as much damage as you can and don't worry about that. Okay, never mind. We're not given the option to trade, so that decision was taken away from us. Yes, do not block. Alright, another champion. And I think that we do want to go ahead and play the Blade Whirl here, just to get more bodies on the board. Since it does appear we are versus a mono-red build, it's important to try to race them as quickly as we can. That also gives us the option to Titan Strength plus Looming Spires next turn if we wish. Though most likely we'll want to just drop an Aurora's champion. Right, Foundry Street Denizen. And another Glory Chaser. We will be taking 4 here. I wonder if our opponent will attempt to trade off anything. Kind of want to play Looming Spires here. Although Subterranean Scout plus Erois' Champion is a pretty good turn as well. Yeah, let's play for that. So we'll go ahead and swing. And I will not be sad if they wish to trade off for the Vanguard. I doubt they will, but it looks like they are. Okay. Alright, we will go ahead and play out one of our champions, setting ourselves up for Subterranean Scout on the champion, plus the Looming Spires, plus the Titan's Strength, which would give us 12 damage from it. But it looks like that's not going to be allowed. You can dream though, can't you? Doesn't hurt to dream. Something along that line may still be what actually gets us the win in this game, if indeed we do manage to pull out a win. Our opponent is 2 damage off of lethal, though, just by what's showing on board right now. Let's go ahead and spires up our Whirlblade. And we will wait till post-combat and play a champion. We may just be dead here. Especially since both of those goblins have menace. And there's just no way I can block and still keep an offensive going here. Right, drop an Aurora's champion here. And hope we live through the turn. We can't block, so if they do have 2 more damage from any source whatsoever, we're dead. And apparently they don't, because they chose to hold back. We will skip blocking because we can't block even if we wanted to. Question is, do you have removal, my friend? I will attempt here to Subterranean Scout my champion. And it appears they do not have removal. Alright then. Infectious Bloodlust it. And we will go ahead and swing, and then we will Titan's Strength. Confirm. And Titan's Strength. And that's 14 damage off of the Aurora's champion. So it did indeed, it appears, get there. And that will be it for this episode of Friday Night Magic. I do hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please leave a like below. It really does help. And until next time, friends, be excellent to each other.